if you frame it,
Mm.
I mean, it's all it is a piece of shit nailed to a board that's painted gold. If you put it in that respect, ain't worth nothing.
Right.
But if you frame it as what he was selling it as, and a way to unblock you, man, it's gold.
I think that's where it's at too, because even when like my wife's seen it, and like people who explain, like, I can't believe you paid for that,
Oh,
and like
I
this.
hung that on my wall at my office when I got back when I was still working at the copper mine. They said, "It- "Is that a pile of bullshit?" I said, "No, that's the most powerful trigger device known to man."
Right.
And how much you pay for that? And I told them, and they all laughed at me.
It's not even real gold, but it is.
And that's, I mean, that started me making money.
Yes. Yeah, I think what I got out of the whole experience was a lot of programming around money that I had. Like I had this mindset. Like one time Renee told me, um, no, it wasn't Renee, it was Kathy Quinlan,
Yeah,
one of those, and she
yeah.
was just like, I was like, how I stood up and I was like, how am I supposed to be making money if I'm stuck here? Like,
Spending all this money.
yes.
Yeah.
And it was just, something I was going through and I was experiencing that way. And
hmm
she's like, that's exactly why you don't have money.
Yeah.
Is that thinking right there?
And it's a scarcity mindset,
It
right?
is. That's exactly where
Now
it
we
came
don't
from.
waste money. We
Right.
don't just go blow it on everything because
Right.
but so another thing that got me the other badge that's on there along with the site, the PLD one. I went through a course in Colorado, and there was a guy named Larry Kendall.
Okay.
He wrote a book called Ninja Selling,
Okay.
and it's for real estate agents.
Right.
But you can apply it to any business in the world. And he's actually got one for loan officers
Right.
too. It's a 2-day course, not a 4-day course.
Right.
But it's how to run your business and um, one of the things that side especially PLD, your word's your bond.
Right.
Don't let anything come out of your mouth that you're not prepared to stand behind because
Right.
somebody's going to call you. If they like you, they'll call you on your bullshit.
Right.
But anyway, it's so your word's your bond, and Larry reinstilled that, and um, it's the business is easy if you develop relationships.
Right.
And I don't place myself as a salesman
Right.
because I don't like that. You don't like getting
Right.
sold, do you?
No, it's a turnoff.
uh,
Like,
but if you had a trusted advisor, you could call up anytime and talk to them and say,
yeah.
"Hey, this," or "Hey, that," and they'd tell you the truth,
Right.
no matter if you didn't want to hear it or not.
Right.
That's kind of how I position. And I've got now my business ain't as good as it was last year, but I
Right.
don't think anybody's is.
Right.
I've got 10 listings.
That's a lot of
I've
listings.
got 2 in escrow. I've
Yeah.
had 2 months this year that I didn't have something in escrow,
Right.
and I'm doing okay. I'm not
Right.
starving,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
I think that's it. We're still balancing life and living life at the same time.
Well, Larry's whole thing is if you jump in and do all this stuff and get business going and get out, you're going to burn yourself out.
Right.
So we increase we focus on the 20% of the activities that make us 80% of the money,
Right.
and we hone them skills, and we increase our dollars per hour so
Right.
we can have a life.
Right.
And a lot of agents on the edge of burnout or on the edge of bankruptcy have went through his course and modeled his system and squared stuff away, and everybody's doing fine.
I think that's one of the paradigms or programming that I've had on charging for things. Like I've had people like even come to me that want to do projects outside of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like stating a number and sticking to it and feeling worthy around it
Mm-hmm.
it's always been tough for me that way of really putting a dollar to it and then knowing that it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But the flip side of that, what happens is I end up selling it short, and then I'm some kind of bitter way in the middle because I know that it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I stuck my foot in my mouth and I sold it for less. And then I feel a certain way instead of doing it from like
Mm-hmm.
pure passion and love because I stated it, I did it, and we completed the project together.
Well, my real estate commission, I charge 3% for
Yeah.
me to go do something. Somebody asked me for a discount, and I'd say, well, here's what I'm going to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to take away from that? Now, we're not doing this because you need to know this,
Right.
and we're not doing this because this is what sells your house. So what other thing can I take away
Right.
to get to a lower rate? Because, well, this agent's going to do this. Okay, hire that agent.
Right.
I'm okay not having,
Right.
I don't need to fight my client.
Right.
I want somebody, there's plenty out there. And that the abundance mindset, right?
Right.
In town, I think there were 14,000 SFR. So that's all the homes,
Right.
14,000 residential. That's 28,000, 28,000
Yeah.
sides.
Right.
I can't do 28,000.
Right.
I can't do 1,000.
Right.
I only need 40.
Right.
And
It's a,
them opportunities will come along. Your vibration, you'll attract people,
right.
just with who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I think that's important. So I mean, if you look at it, you're on a boat. Like, why catch so many fish if you're only feeding a certain amount of people?
I'll catch all the fish I can and
Right.
keep all the fish I
Right.
can, but
There's only so
I
much fish in the
don't
boat.
need a whole boat full of fish.
Right.
So I don't have to work. I can have a life outside of work.
Right. It's okay.
And these guys that are working all the time constantly, and pretty soon they're burnt out.
The way I like to look at that too is the price and the benefit model, right? Like there's a price you pay
Mm-hmm.
for everything. So a lot of times, like in mine world, it could be my daughters, that I'm stuck in front of the computer. And I heard one of my middle kid yesterday, she was like, wow, mom, like dad stopped what he was doing so that I can read him this. And like she just felt so important in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And like I forgot how important that was to like, instead of me saying, hold on, like give me a second, and then her walk away, just stopping what I was doing. Like the email that I was finishing up could have waited.
Mm-hmm.
And it did wait in that time, and I got to see directly that was the reaction that I got from her, is that I made her day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so much that she bragged about it to her mom.
Yeah, and you take that and apply it to everybody you
Right.
react with or you interact with.
Right.
Focus on them.
Right.
It makes a big difference.
Being intentional.
It makes a big difference to the other person.
Right.
Now, they feel great about being around you.
Yeah.
And it's,
I feel like that's the whole definition when people use the word vibration or attract. Like,
yeah, and I mean, all the personal development work I've done, it's all the same.
right.
There's no new epiphany.
Right.
Jim Rohn,
Right.
really great guy,
Yeah.
potato farmer from Idaho.
Yeah.
I could relate with him.
Yeah. I like listening to his stuff.
And Larry Kendall, he's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
And he gives away so much information, so much knowledge. But he's got one of the really cool things about, he was painting the picture of how you want your life to look.
Right.
And how you get to, if you could wake up every morning, have enough money coming in to do whatever you wanted to do that day, would you consider yourself rich?
Right.
Okay. And I thought about that and I said, probably, yeah,
Right.
I think I was rich. He said, well, what's your enough? What is that number?
Right.
Now, I don't need to be Sam Altman or Elon Musk,
Mm-hmm.
because they're never going to quit. They like doing what they do. They're always going to do that. But I like fishing.
Right.
And
It's
it
good.
don't pay a lot, but man, it's fun.
Right. That is one thing that I've practiced. Like I have to schedule it
Mhm.
and check it off like a goal
Mhm.
and build a habit around it of finding fun in my life.
Mhm.
And it is the way it is. I put that on the back burner and I do everything else. And then if I schedule it and I care about it, then it balances things out and I don't get so
Yeah.
tense, or I think it's a happy medium to add that in there
Yeah.
if having fun's important to you.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that changed my life, when I met my wife, I was flat broke.
Hmm.
But we're doing really well now.
Yeah.
Debt will
Right.
crush you.
Right.
Yeah, that car. My first wife, we bought a car every other year for
Mhm.
20 years, so a lot of cars.
Right.
And that debt just got rolled forward and rolled
Right.
forward and rolled forward. And then when we split up, she had a car loan that I had a car loan. I was taking care of mine. She let hers get repossessed. The bank came back after me
Yeah.
and had to settle that. And after I got that pickup paid off, it's like a big weight was lifted off my
Right.
shoulders, and I had a little bit of extra money, and then stuff started snowballing after that. And
Right.
you hear so much stuff, and it's true. The financial guy, uh, baby
Oh,
steps.
Dave Ramsey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, debt snowball.
Yeah. That snowball effect.
Start it and just keep on it,
Right.
keep on it, keep on it. And I talked to my wife about discipline, and I not that disciplined. I said, then it's not that important to you,
Right.
because when it's important, the discipline's easy.
Right.
And structuring it. If I make a promise to myself, I'm the most important person on the f- face of the earth
Right.
to myself.
Right.
Uh, and if I'm not going to keep a promise to me,
Why am
how
I gonna
can I
keep it
keep
to
a
you?
promise to anybody else
Right.
on the planet?
That's such a
Frame it in that mind,
right.
and your whole life changes.
Yeah, that's like the nail on the head right there. And I think that it's so powerful
Hmm.
to make sure you're keeping that perspective, but then also doing it, because also, like, when you come back to words like integrity and like self-esteem, like when
Yeah.
you start putting those in the same realm, then if you are making the promise but nobody's looking and you think it's okay to break the little ones to yourself, like
Well,
who are you on the hook with?
how
Nobody's watching.
yeah, how you do little things is how you do all things.
Right.
I think
Right.
that was one of Renee's. It's
Yeah.
a Reneeism. It probably isn't. It's
Right.
probably throughout. That's where I heard it
But
first.
yeah, downline. But what I appreciate about the like spending time there and stuff is that you take these really what it seems like could be basic concepts, but that you just get slapped in the face with them,
Hmm.
because what gets drawn out is the moment you're in some kind of fire, and then the realization comes out and you're like, oh man, like that's the meaning right there. And now
Hmm.
you can tie that event that happened to every time that comes up again.
Yeah.
You can remember where you were at one
Mm.
time and how it switched for you.
Yeah. I mean, another event that um, it, um, size seminars,
Mhm.
size 7, that was meaningful because of the way Rob Rowe would break stuff down.
Right.
And years later, I met Rob Rowe a couple of other places, and I told him, the MLS thing, it wasn't very fun.
Yeah.
And said, I said that go lay in a tent for 2 days, put a flag up. He said, you could have got up and went anywhere. Nobody was telling you what to do or what not to do.
So interesting.
So I'm a rule follower, right?
Right.
And that was the rule. You had to
Right.
stay in your
It's
tent.
compliance right there. Yeah.
But I could have went and walked around and gathered. He said, we just didn't want 100 guys running all over the ranch making fire. It's hard to keep
Right.
keep them all gathered up. Thought, yeah, you're right.
It's true though, the
And
conditions we make in our head and
remember when we were going up the hill blindfolded
right.
on the rope?
Right.
Well, I walked with my hand out in front of me so I wouldn't run over anybody.
Right.
And when I got to somebody, I'd just wait.
Right.
And
Ah,
he
that's a
said,
deep one.
he said, what are you waiting for? You could have went around them.
Right.
And I'm thinking, yeah, I could have. So,
So much speaking of bullshit just pops up in those ones too,
mhm.
because then like you do pass somebody and then you hear them mumbling and then like you're trying not to get
not
offended that
not
they
my fault.
yeah, exactly. Like
And
they're stuck and you get away from me.
yeah,
Like you
the crab. Uh, be careful who you tell your dreams to, because
yeah.
people don't want you to succeed. Um, and I I think I like myself. My wife likes me, and my kids like me, and I don't care about anybody
Right.
else. And I want to do good,
Right.
and I don't care about anybody else. Is kind of a I do care about other people, what they say about me and what they think about me. I'm not.
Right.
I don't let that influence who I am. You
Right.
know. But no, I got.
Those are the important people.
Well, I mean, we all need people. You
Right.
need people to
Right.
make a living, right?
Right.
So do I, and I want them to
Right.
think good about me
Right.
and think I'm telling the truth. I'm honest.
Right.
I'm helping them. I'm doing the best of my abilities, and uh, but who I am is because of who I
Mm.
am or who I think I am. I'm already. It's easy to connect with
Right.
them people.
That's what makes sense too, is that going back to that how you do anything is how you do everything statement. And
Hmm.
if you're being a good husband and a good dad, then why wouldn't you treat the client good, or why wouldn't you treat them good?
Hmm.
It's because it's if you can treat those people good. You see too many times where people go and treat the rest of the world good and they get back to their people. Like, go ask a wife how their husband really is, and then
Hmm.
you get the
Well, I used to be that way
yeah,
when
100%. I think.
I was working out at the mines, and the mines here,
Mm-hmm.
fairly decent jobs for Tucson, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was broke, so I was working all the overtime I could get and still broke
Right.
and never see my kids. So when I get home, I'd want to chill out, and the kids would want to climb up on my lap, and
Mm,
I just need to rest,
right.
and I was always working, and they grew up that way. So my my kids, they were all 18, 20 when I changed. So they got a different dad. They're grown up. It's not the
Who the
dad.
heck is this
It's,
guy?
well, it's still got a little bit of the beliefs about,
Yeah.
hey, you shouldn't let your kid run down the aisle
Right.
screaming in the store. If
Yeah.
he's going to do that, take the kid outside,
Right.
you know? Uh, so I still got them beliefs,
Right.
some old school stuff, but
Yeah.
the rest of stuff that I used to have, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
It don't work.
Yeah. You know
People
what's
are people.
interesting? My wife has not done any of the
Hmm.
side work, which is it is what it is. Like, I
Hmm.
think it goes back to the song "Dance and Nursery Rhyme"
Nursery
from
rhyme.
Pan.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
so like with my wife at home, I still hear her say things like, I, she's telling the one of my daughters this morning, like, my way's not the best way, and I remember that statement got hit heavy on me with my I am statement, is
Hmm.
that my way's not the best way, and that's okay. Like, I had to like say that
Yeah.
repeatedly.
I'm okay with how I am
Yeah.
because you got to be okay with you.
Right.
You're the one that's with you every day.
Right.
One of the other things, arguing with feedback.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't take
Or
it. So,
justify it, or
well, a lot of people, I've had so many people that want to be accountability partners,
well,
but
yeah.
it's all nice, creamy stuff coming from them to me. And then when I tell them what I observe, they clam up, and then we're not accountability partners anymore. And okay, well, careful what you ask for.
100%. Yeah, that's tough, especially in the. I know we've done like Zooms and goal setting before too, like years ago. I think like two,
Hmm.
3 years ago, and even during those times, like, people don't are not about that stuff. I think luckily we had been crossing paths already
Yeah.
with that kind of stuff.
When I first started, so my brokerage, if I help somebody come over the brokerage, they're
Hmm.
going to give me a little tiny bit of
Yeah.
money. And I call it my mad money.
Yeah.
If they close a deal, I get like $70.
Keeps you around when you get mad at them.
Well, anyway, I was getting into real estate and learning how to do it.
Yeah.
And I had a accountability meeting
Mm.
once a week. And the, the first 3 or 4 months, we had 7 or 8 people there.
Right.
And then it started to dwindle, and it started to dwindle, and it was getting down to one or two. And then COVID, it was before COVID come along. Then I started doing Zoom, allowing people to come in on Zoom because
Right.
nobody was showing up.
Right.
And then I finally, well, guess this isn't important to anybody
Right.
anymore but me,
Right.
because I would be there at 8 o'clock. I would get a
Tuned
room
in.
at one
Yeah.
one of the title companies and set and get everything set up, and we would go over what we did last
Committed to.
week and
Yeah. Exactly. It.
goals and
Yeah.
all the other stuff.
What are you on
And
the hook for?
yeah, nobody showed up. And I thought, well, okay, I need to do something else.
Right. It's just fascinating to me because that goes back to PLD, and that's like PLD world right there. Like, you're
Hmm.
setting a goal, you're tracking it,
Yeah,
you're
but
making
everybody
sure.
showed up at PLD or they weren't there.
Yes, because the fire
Yeah,
was.
and I was driving from Tucson to be to the meetings.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And that was I used to love to be in the car, and like, if I was about to show up a couple minutes late or something, like, I'd be justifying things and all this, like, you don't understand my life, kind of all the victim mindset would come
Yeah,
out, and then you get there and you get slapped in the face again
well,
by and not just by one person. You got the whole room of people with all the coaches, so
hmm,
it's like no one's gonna cut you slack. So
yeah,
you just gotta. I think I learned submission, like a lot of just shutting up and being okay,
yeah,
sitting in my shit and then releasing it. And I think the faster I let it go, the easier it was to move on to a
hmm,
solution. Like,
hmm,
what a life lesson in itself too is, like, the faster I let go of trying to be right, then now I can move into, all right, how am I gonna do this. Because some of that stuff, like I remember doing the wood board, the chopping board, and you get this plank like this size, and you
Oh
write
yeah.
where do you want to go or
Mhm.
what do you want to do, and I put go to Niagara Falls, and then I chopped through, and all of a sudden I got 24 hours to figure it out. So I'm at the airport calling my wife like, "Hey, I'm flying to Niagara Falls,"
Yeah.
and and that stuff was just so uncomfortable. But also like I didn't have money at the time, and so like
Yeah.
I was negotiating things, and I got there. I didn't realize that here and there, like it's snowing over there in Buffalo, and so then the taxi driver that's taking me to Niagara Falls, like he's like, "I'll pick you up in the morning. Like it'll just be $40 or something." And I was like, "Hey, dude, can I borrow your beanie?" Like, and he gives me his jacket, his gloves, and then all of a sudden I got all the things I need to
Mm-hmm.
hang out for 24 hours over there. But like that was helpful because I started asking for what I needed, and
So it's
that was
reaching
hard for
out to
me.
the rest of the world for
Right,
help
right, and that was a
instead of just being the lone ranger.
yep.
Now you're a loner ranger.
You're a loner ranger. This is true. This is true. Even I was at the airport in Buffalo, and like I sat down with this Italian, like, or all the like New York type of people out
Mm-hmm.
there. Just the barber was like, I'm not gonna cut your head off time. So he points me out of the room, and I was like, dang, like, this is something's happening right now. So like I go back in there, and I was like, dude, you didn't cut my hair. And like I started pressing him, and he's like, "You know what? You're gonna come around here, and you're really gonna get your ass kicked." And he's talking stuff while he's cutting my hair. And then all of a sudden we get through it. He tells me high five, and like I pay him out, and I leave. And even though he was mad and I was uncomfortable, I got the haircut done and I moved on. And I was
Did
like,
he
dang.
carve his initials in the
He
back of
did
your
not.
head?
He didn't draw nothing weird either that I had to explain later, which was good. But it's just like a lot of those lessons are like teaching me to open my mouth and ask for what I need
Mm-hmm.
and communicate, and that was hard for me to understand.
Uh, one thing Jim Rohn said that sticks with me, he says, you got to ask,
Right,
but you got to ask intelligently
right,
too. You can't just, communication is really, really critical.
right,
Uh, redneck style, hey, what's wrong with you?
right,
And then you think,
mm,
wrong?
right,
There's nothing wrong with me.
right.
And
It's an
and then
offense right
instead
away.
of saying, what's troubling you? And then
Right.
having that conversation,
Mm.
So
It,
that I'm still working on that.
yeah, that one's a tough one because that's an old fashioned like, hey, what's wrong? And then when you hear the word wrong, you already put yourself below, and then you're
Mm,
fighting out on you're offended, and you're fighting out of offense
yeah.
versus do I have a safe place to communicate right now?
Mm-hmm.
And the way you present it, you could open somebody up to communicate
Yep.
if you really cared.
And I think it was Sci Seminars. I know it was. What I say to you is not necessarily what you hear.
Uh,
It's what. So I've got to if I want to convey my meaning to you, I've got to convey it in something that you understand.
receiving a song,
Yeah,
dance, and
yeah.
nursery rhyme.
Because me and my wife, I'll say something to her. Say something to her. She said, I don't understand, so I'll say it again. She said, just because you said it louder doesn't mean I understand it
Dang,
the same way. It's funny.
that's hilarious. I do want to practice that at home now. Is what's troubling you with
Hmm.
my wife at home? Because I think when we throw out the word wrong,
Hmm.
we easily go into defense right away.
What's wrong?
Yep,
Yeah,
100%. Then you trigger whatever those little
yeah.
triggers come
And
from.
once that trigger goes off, there's no. That's
It's
the
red.
3 R's, right?
Yes.
Or the three
No, it's
R's.
3 R's. It's revenge is the last one.
Hmm.
Work that way. Then it's resentment, and then resistance. Resistance is the first one.
Yeah.
You get into resistance first. Start resisting, then you start resenting that person, and then you get into that place of revenge, which
Hmm.
is hurt. Those are deep
And
meanings.
and they're automatic and they happen so easy with no intention at all. Sitting around talking to somebody and then s- present something wrong, and it doesn't have to be anything at all, and you could be well intentioned. It's the way you can't, what their mind sees
Right.
is different than what you have no idea.
Yeah, those 3 R's are another place. Like
Hmm.
I learned all the way down to revenge, and that's like the third chapter of it, and I got to see it firsthand on where it was coming from. Luckily, through Psy, I found the event in my life of where it came from,
Hmm.
and like also luckily my mom did side too, and I got to like sit with her and communicate later and clear the air and work on it now. So now when stuff are coming up, I don't need to fall through the 3 R's again
Yeah.
and really go
Yeah.
down there because later in life, man, I think about I started cutting deals like with people like normal business agreements or whatever. And I'm in my 20s at this point, and I start like not doing my part, even though I have the abilities. And when they call me or text me like, "Hey, where's your piece?" I come up with a good excuse and all this, but really what I was doing was leaving them so they can see what it felt like to be hurt or left. And that
Mm-hmm.
was because of, mom would drop me off at school and not pick me up. And I started to like, what's wrong with me? And then I hit the R's. And after starting to
Yeah.
resent her, I went into revenge, but I didn't like directly hurt her. I was doing it through other people. And I
Everybody
just
else.
wanted them
Yeah.
to feel what it felt like to be
Yeah.
hurt subconsciously. I wasn't like, I'm going to hurt you. Like, it wasn't like that way, but it was underneath in my actions at that
Mm-hmm.
point. Like I was hurt so bad that's why I think the definition of hurt people come from. It's like, what does that even mean? Well, that's a prime example of how
Sure.
somebody who's hurt underneath can still be hurting people
Yeah.
and not know it. Yeah, but I'm so grateful to have experienced the personal development world is just because it slapped me in the face the way even playing the red black game, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't I stood up with against the person. What it felt like at the time was against the person who was saying black this, black that, and he was the leader and everyone was listening and I didn't like that. So I went up red and I started justifying red and I was pulling people from the black side to the red side. And before you know it, I had majority of his people over on the red side, and then even like every person that wasn't coming, I could find a reason in the front of the room to pull them back over. Like, you're gonna let this man dictate your life, and boom, they start like slowly walking over on this side.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was winning something, but really, like, I just walked all those people off the ledge.
Mm-hmm. And red black game to me was the way I understood it. It's a game, and we got to score as many points as we can.
Right.
And some people took it like, God, you're dropping a nuclear weapon on my family. And I'm thinking, oh, that's not the way I felt
Right.
about it. It's just a game.
Right.
And then when they broke it down, I could see.
How
And
everyone
yeah,
interprets it.
and then when I went up to Ninja Selling, they did the same thing. But I already knew what the game was, so I didn't ruin it for the other
You
people.
just kind of had to get in line somewhere.
I I I said I know what we're supposed to do.
Right.
So you guys, I'll follow your lead.
Right.
You lead, I'll follow.
Right.
I'm not gonna mess this up.
It's so interesting though on the roles I guess you take in the moment, because that
Mm-hmm.
was just a moment where everyone's moving,
Mm-hmm.
and then depending on how many people are in the room, it starts shifting. The energy starts shifting, and people like there are people that you have on board you no longer have on board, and like they're either voting with you or against you
Yeah.
at some point, and it's
It's,
like how to re-enroll them back into the mission so that way everything gets done.
it's a good note on who do you want to follow?
Right.
What are their beliefs?
Right.
What and when you break it down, you can look back and say, well, I thought I was doing the right thing, but I
Right.
wasn't.
Right.
And I got all these people to follow me.
Right.
So you're a good leader.
Right.
And
Put them all in prison.
well, maybe not necessarily put
Right.
them in prison, but
Right.
because that would never be your intention. But
100%.
you
Yeah.
could see and it was just a stupid game.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, there's good nuggets from it too. Is like, all right, if I can move, and then I got to start pouring this into something
Yeah.
positive.
And the whole thing about that too is you could have went over to the other room and talked to the other
Yeah.
people,
Yes.
and they didn't. So they laid out the rules, and that was the rules. So nobody ever thought about, well, I can just go over and talk to
Right.
them because they didn't say we couldn't,
Right.
you know. So that's uh, when we follow the rules to the letter,
Right.
stay inside that box. If you get outside that box, still be a good person
Right.
outside the box. Good stuff happens.
Right.
You know,
Still accomplish the same mission.
probably better
Right.
because if you'd have been able to go out, if you'd have thought about it and went, hey, here's the way it works. If we go through this, and then we get the gazillion score right here. This is how we do it, and everybody wins. But we were all we separated ourselves from the other team, and we were all
Right. Within each other.
yeah, yeah,
Just like a political party or a race or
yeah,
something in here. We were
absolutely,
just
yeah. Instead of getting together and coming together,
Yeah.
it's meant to do that.
Right.
I know. Do you know Marshall Thurber, or
Sounds
have you
familiar.
heard of him?
I gotta see him.
Okay, I was up at the ranch one time, and we played the World Game,
Mm,
and there were about 100 of us, and I wasn't in one of the poor countries, but I didn't get to be in the United States.
right.
Um, so there was 3 people in the United States, and they divided lunch up in the food, and the people over they had so much food. They had whole smorgasbord out on the table,
Uh,
and I think I had beans and rice, and I was okay with it for
yeah,
lunch. But and then these people down here, the poor nations, got nothing,
right.
hardly, just
Like
like
a
a
little bit of
bite,
rice. Yeah,
a couple crackers, and a piece of rice. And these gals over here getting steak dinner and stuff, and it made some of them mad,
I bet.
really mad. Uh, I just saw it as a game, and then I saw the inequity in the world.
Right.
Um,
Because you need that perspective. You don't see it until you see it.
no,
You can't change what you can't see either.
the streets here in the United States are paved with gold,
Right.
bud. There's no other place on this planet that you can go from zero to millionaire.
Right.
If if you think there is easily,
Right.
I mean, you can do it in other countries, but try to do it in Britain.
Right.
Folks don't. I've been watching when the people come over for the World Cup games,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of YouTube videos on what Europeans think of the United States. Oh my God, blah 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 blah. And the guys are saying people are so friendly in the United States; they'll
Right.
talk to anybody.
Right.
In Britain, they stay to themselves, and they're saying folks don't want you to succeed. They don't like watching you succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, or India. That's a caste system there still. And there was an agent here. His wife was from India, and they had a place over there. Some people just took it from them. There wasn't anything they could do about
It's
it.
like the old-fashioned days. It's just
Just
invaded the land and it's mine now.
it's weird. So I mean, and
We have it made.
yeah, Mexico isn't as easy as here.
Right.
And Cuba, have you
Right.
seen any videos of Cuba
Yeah. Not
in
the
the
race.
last?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the ultra rich and the poor.
Right.
That's it.
There's nothing in the middle.
No, and as soon as that's done, maybe the sanctions will go away and they'll start getting some help. But
Right.
it's terrible.
Yeah, that's tough. I think speaking of like being able to see the opportunity that we have, I think for me it came from evidence at MLS, and luckily I did PLD
Mm-hmm.
that helped get me to MLS. So I got through a money program during PLD.
I think we had to be in PLD.
Yeah, I was in PLD.
So that we're able to go to.
Then then
LS.
halfway through I got into LS
Mm-hmm.
there, and luckily I did that though because it helped kind of gave me a running start
Mm-hmm.
at it. And when we got there, like I was open minded and jumping into all the different exercises we were working through. But the one that really hit me was the money,
$100.
the
Yeah.
$100 one.
$100, $10, and $1.
Yes,
And
that
one guy in the class got damn near all the money.
Yep. And during my time, I was that guy,
Mm-hmm.
and like everybody else, like when they separated us during like size 7 and stuff by how much you make, like there was another exercise with that one, and like knowing that there was millionaires in the room, and for me to like I felt like I was at the bottom or somewhere in there, like there's blue collar, and then it's just there's me like maybe at the tip of the blue collar but not. And after like me walking around like who else gonna give my money to, and I found the first person, and then that person turned around and gave me theirs, and then another person came and gave me theirs. So like I'm standing there and I still have my own money in my hand that I'm handing out, but I'm not walking around and giving it because I'm collecting money at the time. And there's a line going, and like I didn't understand what the heck was going on. Like, but at the end of it, when I'm on the floor and I'm trying to count the money, and they say that, and then like I'm at the front of the line, and to like have that feeling was like all these people in the room, like
Yeah.
all these all these professions. People are entrepreneurs, real
Sure.
estate, like
Well, it's how you show up,
right.
right? And that's that was good. I didn't make first. I
Yeah.
made third.
That's I mean, regardless, but like for me to understand that like, okay, this whole world works about the service that I give. And if I
Mhm.
just jump in and
Mhm.
be of service, that was a direct correlation that
Absolutely.
you're rewarded for the service you render.
Yeah. For what you do for other folks.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. All I was doing was I submitted to the no phone thing and I just focused on the people that were there with me and we talked and we worked through things together. Like
Mhm.
nothing special. Like when it was time to lead, I led. Like the samurai game was fun too. I jumped in that one and that was interesting because I took the Damio of the South on that one
Mhm.
and we won that by like we had 5 guys left and that was just an interesting one. I had like a lot of things that I've done that I learned like someone was kind of arguing with that I was Damio and didn't want to like listen basically. And right when they say put people in the graveyard, like I put those 3 people in the graveyard right away and moved on from it. But like they came and thanked me later
Mhm.
because as they were laying there in the graveyard for hours at a time, they got to think about like how
Yeah.
they were showing up and stuff.
I
And
took myself out of the game early because a, a guy made up a rule that I went, okay, went to the graveyard, and then come to think of it, reviewing the rules, it didn't apply to me. It
right,
applied to the Damio.
right, right,
So I could have stayed in it.
right.
And our team, I don't know if our team won or not because when I was in the graveyard, dude, it's a long time in there.
Yeah, I've
And you fall asleep, and then somebody gets penalized because they're snoring in the
right,
graveyard.
right. Yeah, that was intense. Like I had stepdad in the game too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was in LS as well, and like there was one game where Damio pulls a person off, so I pulled him off to the side, and he's got to go and like compete like on one leg against another person. So we're stuck there for like 25 minutes, and they're like eye to eye looking at each other, and I'm like telling them positive affirmations, stay in it. I look back and I put somebody else in charge to be Damio and lost half the people, like all of our people that we were doing well on.
Mm-hmm.
I come back and like have to pick up the pieces, and that's how we ended up still winning by with 5 on our side. But I think that ending of that game was important too because I saw how the other team handled it, where they said like you can face off and fight right now, or you can spare your women and children. But if you lose, then they're gonna kill your women and children.
Mm-hmm.
And like even seeing that side of it, I was like, oh, that was selfless
That
for
was,
that person.
yeah.
Yeah, to just join the same team but spare your women and children. Like that's real. It felt like real life because you're kind of in it, and it is.
It is.
It
That one
the
was
beats are going and
that was more
energy's high.
realistic than the red black game
A
to
hundred
me.
percent,
Yeah.
100%. Because you're like, I just remember looking people in the eyes and like, like right before sending them up and like knowing if they're gonna do well or not. And like you connect with them for a moment and then you send them. Or some people it just walked and moved on, and it was just because it wasn't in their heart in the moment. Like you could see it in their eyes that they didn't want to go out there, and so I just moved on, found somebody else, and then like those people were winning the games and
Mm-hmm.
moving on. So like, it was just a lot of interesting of how to move on your feet at that time. But yeah, even like selling to be Damio, like someone else was like this warrior dude, like literally was from like Hawaii, like warrior status, and he was like, "I'm gonna be the Damio," and then like I was like, "It's not just a game of going out there and whipping them. Like we have to be smart here and play chess." And then like more people like came on board with that idea too, and so like, but granted, that dude was the best warrior. Like I kept him and kept putting him out there, and he was taking people down with with the games that they were
Mm-hmm.
competing against each other with. And like he had a different role, and it was okay. But like I think that was important to understand that we have to outsmart these people and out whatever we're doing in the middle too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was fun because even like the Damio, the other Damio, like before we started, we were staring eye to eye, like unblinking for like 20 minutes. It felt like, and it was just like what I learned in myself was I had to release any of the thoughts that were going on there, and I just stuck to positive affirmations, like I'm perfect as I am and as I am becoming. I want to be of service. Like I just kept repeating this, and I just stayed calm the whole
Mm-hmm.
time versus letting this all the programming of like, oh, this dude's tall, he's a professional boxer from Europe. Like there's all these other things that could start messing with my head, and I don't know what we're even gonna do right now. So, releasing that was like I apply that to all the moments where I start to feel like the energy's rising. I'll
Hmm.
go back into just running the affirmations through my head, and then I move smoother. Which I think that like I don't know how else to explain this stuff to people other than like you just have to go like experience like some kind of like
Yeah,
ideas or
yeah.
exercises.
I think practical experience. We can sit and talk about it all day and
Right,
tell about our experiences, but I mean, it really clicks when you go through it.
right,
It helps if you kind of have an idea of what's coming,
right.
so you can. But when you like the
Pack a sleeping bag.
yeah, like yeah, no kidding. Like the um, samurai game. We're gonna play the samurai game. Okay, here's the rules. Blah blah blah. You're out. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I missed most of the game
yeah,
because finally they let us set up and watch
right,
from the graveyard
right.
because there's too many of us snoring.
Yeah, yeah,
But because I couldn't follow it, so I missed some of that. But I I understand and I know because of the rest of the stuff there, uh, being in it and being of service and just, I mean, sometimes you got to, we grow up and we become young men and there's already a set path, but is that the right one?
right,
And I think the right one for me is, um, I don't think I'd do anything different my whole life
right,
because it's the experience. And the Marine Corps was the experience.
right.
That was good. I could have not done truck driving and stuff, but uh, that personal development, that time in my life when I went through, and Cy was not the only one.
Right,
Uh, Jim Rohn,
right.
if you want a good personal development guru,
Yeah,
yeah, listen to his stuff.
yeah.
He's America's millionaire maker. More millionaires are attributed to him. And I really think, uh, who wrote Think and Grow Rich?
Case hockey.
No, uh, Think and Grow Rich. Gosh dang
Oh,
it.
Think and Grow Rich is
Um, he's the one that originally came out with the concept
oh, it's
of
gonna stick with me.
it.
Yeah,
It'll hit me maybe after this.
yeah.
I'll get it. But
We'll put it in the
the
show
the
notes.
the book Think and Grow Rich, I think started. I know Jim Rohn
Right.
read it, and it may not have stuck with him. He attributes his success to one other guy, but
Is
the
it Bob
way
Proctor?
no Bob
That was a
no
different one. Yeah.
Bob did a lot of stuff with Cy.
Right.
Yeah, no this Napoleon Hill.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
so
Yeah.
that's the guy that was Andrew Carnegie after he
Right.
sold U.S. Steel to J.P. Morgan.
Uh-huh.
He had all this money and he was giving it away and stuff. But he got Napoleon Hill. He said, "I'm going to set this up so you can go interview these people. I want you to write a book about how they succeeded."
Right.
And I read that a long time ago and started applying some of it then. And it's the only one in charge of your life is you.
Yeah, I think it's
That's the base.
right.
You can't rely on anybody else to get where you got to go. It's all about you.
Those are hard lessons to learn, especially in what we do now. It's like
Yeah.
there's nobody to blame. Like it's all the man in the mirror.
Well, I mean, people, all professions, we could still blame somebody. It
Right.
wouldn't do any good.
Right.
But having the personal development, you can go and scream into your
Right.
pillow and blame somebody, and then you say, "Well, that's not true. Let's get back to work." You got that most powerful trigger device known to man over
Yeah.
there. I got one too. So,
It's
and
responsibility.
that's the break point. I got, oh no, it's about me. Let's pull this back in and let's get past this.
I recently this summer lost my San Diego Beach. I took my Eagle ring off
Hmm.
put it in the chair, and my father-in-law was packing up the chair so we can leave the beach. Upside down, the chair hit the sand somewhere. I went back and looked for it and was gone. And then, like, at that moment, like, I leaned on that ring a lot for those experiences, but
Mm-hmm.
then had to, like, be okay with it, that it's in me, it's in my heart. Like,
Mm-hmm.
those experiences are always going to be with me. It's not the ring that's tangible. Like, that was just a trigger to it. So even as we're talking, sometimes I'm touching it. It's not there anymore, but I'm like, I'm remembering, those,
Yeah.
what's in me or what came out of me to, like, go back to
Mm-hmm.
when those things are new. So I think those triggers are important, and just kind of seeing those events in your life. So then that way, if we're creatures of habit and we come back to that experience again, we know that we did a different result and got something better out of it
Mm-hmm.
versus doing the same thing over and over.
Same old thing.
Yeah.
What that they call that insanity.
Yep. Doing the same thing over and
Same
over.
thing, same result.
Yeah.
Got to do something different.
That's good.
Yeah.
Dean Leonard, man, we didn't even do and I think everything's meant to be,
Mm-hmm.
just like you talked about with, like, stages of life, and not really, like, I think all those staircases, whether they feel like they had a meaning or not, I call them these days the checking off the what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll do the thing, so that way the what if is gone. Like, what if I
Mm-hmm.
was this, or what if I was that? And I've tried a lot of things in my life, and now, like, my what ifs are all gone, and I can narrow down to the things I care about.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that to say this is Dean Leonard, man, we have these conversations together, usually over coffee or another way, and to be able to kind of share that with people, and who knows what gets extracted or what guides. But I think that it's important to find it within yourself, so that way, just like you mentioned, there's nobody's going to come to save you. It is you.
Not even your wife. She'd want to come and save
Right.
you, but she can't.
Yeah,
You know.
100%. And I think
Yeah.
that's why a lot of men could fall off on the deep end or something. I think that if you find it within yourself, you can get yourself into shit, and
Yeah.
you can get out of it too.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to dig deep on yourself and find ways to grow. And I mean, I'm about to hit 40, and I'm still feel fresh and brand new to needing to, even though I know a lot of concepts right now, I have to re-practice them every single
Yeah.
day. Otherwise, I go back to
What do they say? You're either growing or you're dying.
exactly it. That's exactly that is it. I like to look at that, like, I don't know how people feel about this, but I take it as, like, you take the word God as an acronym, and you're growing
Mhm.
or dying.
Mhm.
And so if you just keep pushing towards that, then, like, it is what we're here to do. We're here to grow. Give some kind of purpose behind it. Find meaning.
And when you find purpose, things become crystal clear.
Right.
You got a path.
Right.
Your mind, your brain, when Larry Kendall, that's
Right.
part of the book, the Reticular Activating
Right.
System. Your mind don't know the difference between a truth or a lie.
Right.
So what you tell it, it'll go find it
Right.
for you.
Got to make your heat seekers.
And you can something really super simple. What kind of car do you drive?
Montego.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
see them all over the
Yeah.
place? Yeah. That's
Yep.
because
Even the ones that look
that's
like it.
that's because it's in here.
Right.
Yeah. Because I never see Montegos.
Right. But I do. I know where they're at. Like,
So you can place something in your mind like
Uh-huh.
that, and bam, it's there. Our brain's meant to protect us
100%.
and get what we want.
Right.
So
It's got to feed it right.
rewire it, and there's no stopping you. Napoleon Hill. If you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it.
Mm.
That's in that came from him.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Leonard here on the Master Me podcast. If you're just tuning in, this is a professional and personal development podcast where we just work through ideas. We have normal human conversations, and we share our journey along the way. And this is part of where me and Dean are today, just kind of sharing that with you. And we hope you enjoy.